The very world we know took an unexpected turn this year. This year has awakened me, has awakened us all, has awakened us to truths we can no longer ignore. Women all over the world are hurting. Women all over the world need to be heard. So join me as I embark on a journey that will lead me into conversations with women all over the world on issues that women of this generation face on a global scale. Hello, Christina. How are you doing today?
Hello, hi. Everything is fine. Today is good in Belarus. What about you?
It's going well here. Things are a little intense with elections that are coming up, as I'm sure you already are experiencing that over there in Belarus.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
I can tell you so many things what's going on in Belarus. Maybe it's not well situation here, and it's like historical moment for everybody, but it's really sad.
Yeah. And I'm just really excited that I'm able to do this with you. It was kind of last minute that we decided to have you on the show and talk about what's going on in Belarus, because I think what's going on over there is so important. And so many people don't know about it. So many people have no idea what's going on in Belarus. And so I want to be able to just talk about that, because I feel what's going on over there can serve as an example for the US and any other country that's going through any major political changes right now. So before we get into any of that, I want to get into a little icebreaker and talk about Belarus, and so the viewers and the audience can see Belarus through your eyes. So what is your favorite traditional dish?
Oh, my favorite traditional dish is pancake from potato. We call it's draniki.
Draniki?
Draniki, yes. It's like you take potato,
Uh-huh.
onion, you make smash everything and make some small pancakes, and then you take I don't know you have this or no, but it's like free yogurt,
Yes.
and you and just eat.
Wow, that sounds delicious. So
Yes.
is that like a breakfast? That's a pancake, so it's like a breakfast food, or you
And
eat it?
it's better for lunch or dinner because this is heavy food. For breakfast, usually we eat some eggs or some, I don't know, some European food.
Okay. Well, good to know. And what is a famous Belarusian saying?
You know, I think we have so many uh, some phrases in on Belarusian language, on Russian language, and it's very similar what you will say in English. Maybe what first uh, coming to my mind, it's something like if you say that you will do, you just need to do it, and never trust people if they just saying. But in Russian and something else, in Belarusian it's also, but the same. Uh,
How do you say
but
it?
how to say?
Yeah.
Uh, it's like, wait, it's very difficult to say in Russian now. Um, Wait, I forgot.
Do you say it? Do you have a way to say it in Belarusian language?
In Belarusian language it will be, in Russian language it will be, если ты сказал что-то, то должен это сделать. И не говори то, чего не можешь выполнить.
That sounds beautiful, but so hard at the same time.
No, this is easy.
Oh my gosh. I remember when we were in Poland, you were trying to teach me some words in Belarus. It's so hard. It's so hard because you guys have so many mixtures with Russian and even Ukraine too, right?
Ukraine and Russian, Ukraine, Russia, some people in Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
Belarus, all of us speak Russian.
Oh my
And that's why when I speak with you and I have very strange accent in English, because for us
God.
it's not easy to
have a
speak clean English.
No, you have really good English and you have a very sweet voice. Your accent is very sweet and soft.
Thank you.
All right. What is a popular hobby or fun activity to do in Belarus?
You know, it depends like everywhere, but here we have a cold weather and hot weather. If we will speak about summer, all of people like to go outside city to the village or to the lake for camping or something like that. If we speak about now, autumn, some people like to go to the forest and take mushrooms or something like that. And somebody like to go to the fishing. It depends. Also, we like drive bicycles.
Okay.
Uh, I couldn't say anything about nightlife. We have some the streets where you can go on the party, but for example, good night clubs like in America we don't have.
Mhm.
Here it's just if you want to take somebody for a night, you can go to the nightclub.
Oh, okay.
So at winter we like to go also outside city and for the ski, for example.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
we
do you
don't have mountains,
Oh, okay, that was
but
what I was gonna ask.
we have just some mountains what people did.
Okay.
And also we like to go to theater or cinema, but I forgot what is that because of pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Everything because of the pandemic has been canceled.
Yes, it's true.
And what is your favorite city in Belarus and why?
My favorite city I live in Minsk. Minsk is capital,
Mhm.
and my favorite city is Brest.
Yes.
Brest, yes, Brest. It's city near Poland.
Ah,
Uh, I love this city because this is small town, and this town don't have any, how to say in English. When people tall, it's mean they tall. When building high, yes, the city don't have any high buildings.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So, and for me, people in this city more kind. I don't know why.
Okay.
And also,
Mhm.
and also in this city, uh, always little bit more warmer than here in Minsk.
Oh, really? I think people are much nicer and more hospitable in cities that are rural areas outside of the main cities. In small villages and towns, you will find everybody just to be very kind and relaxed and calm versus when you're in the capital city of your country, it's like complete chaos.
Yes, and so many people comes to this city from another cities and stuff like that.
And the last question is, what is your favorite part about being a Belarusian woman and why?
Um, this is hard question for me because I think to be woman, it's just to be woman, it's the best. And if we will speak about my country, I think to be woman in my country, it's good because our women, they always careful about themselves, not about only beauty, about heels and all this stuff. For me, all people beautiful, but you need to be beautiful not for somebody. You need to be beautiful for yourself first of all, and then uh, all people and all the stuff around you also will become beautiful, and they will want it to be the same like you, for example, not the same, but they want also to show themselves in good way. So I like to be woman in my country because all people in Belarus, all women in Belarus, they so different. And for example, um, like me, I have black hair and black eyes, and this is not typical Belarusian.
Really?
Yes, typical girl. This is girl with green or blue eyes and blonde hair. So I like that we have mixed people. I mean, the different nose, different face, all of difference. For example, if you will come to Germany, you will say this is German. If you will come to Ukraine, you will say that she is Ukrainian. And here it's
Like
for me,
Mhm.
yes, I think that is good.
Aw. Well, that sounds amazing. And you actually just reminded me a little bit about my last conversation with Rachel from Belgium. We were talking about how Belgium is so mixed cultures. Everybody that goes there, it's very different. So hearing your story about Belarus reminded me of that. And you're always
Yeah,
telling me, you're always telling me to go to visit.
yes, you must to come here, but please wait when our
Wait.
political.
Yeah, 1000%. And so that's what I do want to get into. But before that, we're going to watch a little video and then we're going to dive right in.
Okay.
Это мирный женский протест. Мы за мир в Беларуси. Потому что неправильно то, что происходит в нашей стране. Это неправильно то, как себя ведет милиция, ОМОН и власть.
So as you can see in the video, there have been protests that you actually were the one to tell me about what was going on. I had no idea what was going on in Belarus. And I think a lot of people still to this day don't know what's going on, even though a few weeks and months have already passed. And a little history on what's going on. I want to give people a background on why the protests are happening the way that they are. And then we'll just dive right into the conversation. So the capital of Belarus, Minsk, which is where you're at, has been taken over by mass spread protests that have been triggered by an election. That has been triggered by an election believed to be rigged by the 26-year-old leader, Alexander Lukashenko. Is that how you say his name?
Alexander Lukashenko.
Yeah, he's often referred to as the last dictator, Europe's last dictator. And so the elections in Belarus usually have always been boring. Is that correct? Something that I read, because you always expect the same outcome. He's always the one that has been in leadership and has always won the elections for the past 26 years. And you're 28 now, so that's been almost your whole life. And unfortunately, however, things got a little different this year. So 3 women stood up against one of the world's most authoritarian leader in a challenge that symbolizes a country's hunger for change. However, and you can tell me a little bit more about this, 2 of the women before the elections were arrested. Was that correct?
Yes, you are correct. The situation in Belarus now, it's like historical moment.
Yeah.
And for me, I couldn't believe that it's happened, because for all of my life, I'm 28 years old, but 26 years old, our president have the same position. We have same president, and nobody can't go on this position, because if somebody have more higher step, that this person will go to the prison, or he will need to go to another country.
And that's what actually happened with, so 2 of the women were actually arrested before the election. And then one of them, which was the main opposition candidate, Miss Tikan, how do you say her name?
Tikhanovskaya.
Tikhanovskaya. I don't know if I said it right. Oh my God, I'm like sweating trying to say that. But she tried to complain after the elections to the authorities and say that, you know, there was falsification of the results and so on. And she was actually forced to leave the country to Lithuania, right?
Yes, but actually this lady, she's her husband wanted to go he was like blogger, and he did so many historical videos about Belarus, how things go on, and it was not nice. And he wanted to go to be president, but he didn't want, how he said, he didn't want to be president for forever. He wants just to change this situation and then make another round to choose president. But through some time, he went to the prison, and his wife, this lady Tikhanovskaya, she said that she need to go and say that she wants to be president, because she loved very much her husband,
Yeah.
and she wants to just try to help people, try to help Belarus, and try to try to do something with this situation.
No,
And then yes, and then 2 women. One was also wife of one candidate to president, and another one, she was not a wife. She is one of leader in it.
Was she a teacher? Was she the one that was a teacher?
Yes, one of them, she was a teacher, but she was one of the leader in the team. And one of these president outside Belarus, not president, candidate and president outside Belarus. Another one is Babarika. He is in prison. So and then when everyone went to the prison, these beautiful ladies make a team to be together and to help Tikhanovskaya to make and to say people what's going on, and they asked to choose her, that people need to choose her. So, and after that, when they did some, they made some documents with government that they will do some meetings, because meetings in our country is not available. And then when government start to see that meetings become bigger and bigger, in the same day they say that we will not to allow to do this stuff, because we will do some government, I don't know, traditional historical day of something, of train or something like that. And after, when it's the day, it was 8th of August or 9th of August, I also was in Minsk. We did some, we went to the schools. It's actually schools, so kindergarten, the place where you need to go to choose your candidate.
Oh.
So and then after 8 p.m. All of people need to say who was win. But if you don't want to be with our president, who still right now, you need to put white bracelet on your head, and it's mean that you not follow our president. So many people comes, and so how I see many people was with these white bracelets, and so many people choose Tikhanovskaya, but our government say that Tikhanovskaya get only 20%.
Wow.
Oh no, and 20% it was only for all candidates who was in this.
The
this
election.
Yes, and our president get 80%.
Wow.
But it's after that, when people went again to the school to see how many percent this school is get, some of the school didn't show any protocols.
Wow.
So, and
so
how?
Let me ask you this: before this election, was it always like that, or were the elections?
No,
before it was
like before it was before it was calm, because if you wanted to do something, if you wanted to do some meeting or something, it was not more than 1 or 2 days, because people was very scared about all this situation, and police always take them, and even we had rules in Belarus that you couldn't make a team more than 3 people and clap your hands.
Wow.
I told you before in Poland. And 8 and 9 of August, it was really disaster. All people went to the centrum, and they start fight with police. They fight. I mean, not fight. They just.
They just. So I was seeing that right after the election, people went to go protest, but the police and authorities, they got very violent, and they were beating the people that were just wanting to protest and do peaceful protest.
Yes, but you know what? You know what? The people who going to do protests, they just came to the centrum. They not crash anything. They always, after all meetings, they take all of the trash. If they want to stand on the chair from the wood, they take off them shoes. So they help to each other. And after it was 9, 10, and 11 of August, it was a situation when police started take people and beat them, beat women, beat everybody, put to the prison. They don't give them water, they don't give them food, they don't give them chance to go to the toilet. And there was all of them beating. And then I started ask you to tell in your Instagram that people need to know what's going on. And after when when people from the hospital comes to the prison, and they was available to take people only who will die soon. But if they normal, you couldn't take them.
Wow.
Some people was, the skin was not blue, he was less dark of the beating. So some of people, one people is died because police just took a gun and did what they did. But they tried to say that it was some stuff what people did by their hands, and they just put it to this person. But this person died because of this. Some of people died in the hospital now, just a couple days ago. And when we speak about it, for example, I speak with you now, and it could be that tomorrow, if our government will see our video, and they could come to me and put to the prison as well.
Wow.
So, and when it happened, we understood that it's not possible that police beat everybody, and our women say that we will go to make some protest with flowers, that police will not take us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not was in this protest because of my health, but I was always with everybody. I always support everybody, because if you don't have health, you couldn't go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not because I didn't want. And our men's in our country, when they started to see that everybody goes to say and make protest, they come to our women, they give them water, they give them food, pizza, they support them, they come and give them flowers and all this stuff.
No, and I love that women were able to be the ones to kind of turn it around, because what you're describing, the protests, the violence, all of what you're describing sounds so similar to me, because that's kind of what's been going on here in the US. I don't know if you heard about, obviously, George Floyd. I'm sure you have, how he was murdered literally by a cop with his knee on his neck. No reason for it at all. He was not guilty of anything. He was innocent. And so that like just inflamed all the mass protests that happened throughout the world. And I actually talked about it in my USA interview with women around the world. And we talked about that. We talked about racial issues that are going on, not just in the US, but around the world. But I think one thing that is really important to highlight here is the fact that in a country like Belarus, where the leader is described as Europe's last dictator, the fact that women were the ones that were able to stand up against this guy, like, it's mind-blowing to me, because when I was studying this, I was scared to dive into a political conversation and get into politics. And as soon as I saw and read more about the story and saw how women were really the ones that changed basically the course of what was already happening, they were the ones that said, hey, we don't like this anymore. The fact that they were able to take their place for their husbands, you mentioned that their husbands were arrested, and they were the ones that were like, yeah, well, you can arrest them, but you can't arrest me. And they were the ones that stood up together and went against the leader. And then even after the protests got violent and got insane, they're the ones that also came forward and did the protest, like in the video that we saw, with the flowers in their hands and showing their strength and unity, which is just such an example. And it's so beautiful to see that Belarus women can do that. I think it's just an example to just so many other places around the world that would benefit from learning about the strength that women carry in your country.
Yes, that's true. And also, for example, when we get some protest, and we have so many examples when the woman can see that police going to beat men, she's go and she just like on him that cop will not beat him. So many this situation, and also police, they are not all of them is bad. Some of them say that I'm sorry, I will not work anymore here, just take all of the documents and go, goodbye. And also people help to them. We have some account where you can put money, and this money you will give to people who need your help, because you need, if you go from position in police, you need to pay some money because you get contract, and if you will cut this contract before they will ending, you have to pay. And also this situation, it's like, you know, every Sunday we don't have any internet here.
Wow.
Because this is going with protests, and they switch off all internet. I work in Centrum, and also at weekend it's my work days, and I couldn't work. So I couldn't work, and also people couldn't come to us because all of the road is closed. And you afraid to go outside because you because people could be taken by mistake. I mean, they will take everybody. And also in the same day when it happened, 10 and 11 of August, it was people who just went to supermarket, to came to the gas station and stuff like that. They took everybody. But also Belarusian people is nice people because they was under prisons, and they did camp. If you will go out from this prison, they will give you food, they will give you medicine stuff, they will give you psychology, they will give you whatever you want. Also lawyer, whatever. So, and you know, when I can hear that in Europe, in America or somewhere, you can have support from the government, or if they will support you, they will help you if you don't have work, they will help you if you have pandemic, they will pay you some money or something to stay on your feet. Here it's nothing. When its pandemic came, our one blogger, Andrei Tkachov, he made the team who help to people, who help first of all to hospitals to have some special stuff for pandemic. We didn't have any mask. Me, I also helped to designer to make mask to the doctors.
Wow.
So we didn't have any product to, people just die, and we don't have really right. So maybe this is right, but I don't believe that in our news this is right number of people who died or who sick
Wow.
with corona. And you know, Belarus didn't know anyone If you go to Europe, you will say that I'm from Belarus. Everybody asks where that. It's Russia or it's Africa or something else. But good song now.
Yeah.
It's Belarus now. Everybody, okay, we're not with right position, with good position. We have now difficult time here, but now everybody knows that we are good people.
Yeah.
And when everything will stop, please come to us. Call me, text me. I will show you beautiful Belarus. I'm sure that it's more different than you say.
And I'm one of the people that definitely want to come to Belarus, so you can show me everything. My biggest question is, where do you see this ending? Like, do you see any sort of solution? I know that you mentioned also something super side note. When you mentioned that you guys didn't have access to masks or anything like that, I was just, I had a whole side thought where people just need to be grateful in other countries for protocols and having disposition, having things that will help you during this time. I think a lot of people, especially especially in the US, but there's so many countries that are fighting over wearing masks, and they're over politicalizing the entire mask wearing. And it's just a simple protocol to protect people from dying. There's countries that don't even have ability to attain a mask or simple things. So this is just a lesson, completely side note, of how to be grateful for these things. But going back to what I wanted to say is, do you see some sort of change happening? Do you see anything that maybe other countries, do you have any allies that are planning to step in or do anything? What's going on? Is the UN going to do anything?
You know, I think everything is changed now because some people choose who will leader in them country, not leader choose where he wants to be, right? And if he is leader, is it okay? And but people, so many people will go outside until time when he will go.
Yeah.
So, and before, people was very afraid. People was very, how to say, it was, so they was very afraid and they couldn't go outside because they know that they will go to prison.
Yeah.
But now it's just a joke. If you will go outside on Sunday, you will go for 50 days to the prison. Okay, it's okay.
Normal.
So yes, it is normal now. Okay, maybe now it's more or less than it was in August, but still army comes to the city. Too much police come to the city when is protest going on.
Yeah.
And also, it was a day, a couple of days ago, I was in hospital at that time. Not only women and girls was outside, it was grandmothers. They made a team and they went outside. They said, please stop it. We don't want you. But our president said that it's so many countries around us, maybe Poland, Lithuania, also USA, help us to change everything. But I don't believe in that. And also before this situation, I took some, not here, not there, because for me it was, we never feel our support from government, and for me it was that you need to work, you need to do something, you need to stand on your feet, and it's not depend who president in your country. But after, when it's happened, when people was killed, when people was beating and all this stuff, I couldn't, my heart couldn't be with this president, because my opinion on him hands in the blood.
Wow.
So maybe he did good things for our country, but everything has some period, and you need just to go to give a chance to another people to help this country growing up. In our country, everybody is going out.
Yeah.
So our country was,
Everything.
yes, the best country in IT. IT in our world now is something what we need to know and what we need to do, and this is cost expensive.
Yeah.
And now our country is not rich, but every day we become more poor, poor, and poor.
I
So
think the biggest thing here is no matter who is no matter who's the leader, this should go for every country around the world. I believe that politics and leadership have become something where it's just so selfish, and it's not even about the people anymore. It's not even about what's best for the people. Because as a leader, you look, and if you care about your country, you look at what's happening, you should say, you know what, I love this country too much to let what's happening. You know what I mean? To let people leave the way that they are, to imprison them and have them die in jails. That's not the heart of a leader. And so it's so important. And I love, again, I love that women were the ones that started the movement. Women were the ones that actually were the ones that said enough is enough. And one of the reasons, like I mentioned to you, one of the reasons why I started this show and started these interviews were because, well, originally it was a different concept. I was interviewing women in a studio that were entrepreneurs and CEOs and have a good story to share. But when the pandemic hit and everything happened, I was like, I need to interview women around the world so we can be awakened to what's going on, because there's so much that we just don't know. And even yesterday, I was watching this documentary that talked about the internet and how our phones are causing us to think and act a certain way that we don't intentionally want to be. It's because of what we see and everything that's manipulated. And so we have to find a way to harness all of that strength and do what Belarus is doing and what women in Belarus are doing, and stand together and strong, and not fight, but in unity, seek betterment and seek change. What's actually going on in Belarus too actually reminded me of, I don't know if you ever saw the protest in Puerto Rico not too long ago, where we had a president, well, he was a governor. He did not want to step down. And people were, because he was stealing so much money from the people, and people protested in the Capitol and stayed there for weeks. For weeks, they stood strong. And it's just so beautiful to see so many other countries after that have done very similar things. Belarus is not the only country that has done this, and so I'm nervous for November, because November is coming up for us and things are just getting so insane with the elections. And so after watching that documentary, I realized that there are so many other things that are causing us to feel so divided from one side of democracy to another. And so I think we just need to understand that this is out of our control. This is not something that is happening to us because we want it to happen. We're being manipulated by so many different things. So we just need to learn to stand outside of that mindset and find a way to fight with love and just stand strong in what we believe and what's going on, but without fighting, without division.
Yes, it is true because, for example, my opinion that how I say that if you have leader position for a long time, you need to give a chance to do it to someone else because we have different age, we have different mind. So people who our parents not think the same like think we are. People who grown up now, they are different from the us. And if you will give a chance, the countries and everything will go up. But my opinion in our world will leaders, it's only money, politics, and sex. And but you could not go inside all this stuff. But when you can see that in your country where you was born, people just kill or beat them, you could. It's like I'm a person who love my country. I like my country, but how I told you before that nobody knows that whereas Belarus, I told you that I'm from prison, but I don't like our political stuff. And everybody asked me, Christina, what you wanted to change, what you don't like. I want in my country that hospitals and doctors and teachers, they will have good salary, that people who don't have home, they will have good some care about them. But it's not like that. It's not like that. And the people who have big positions, they don't think about it. I think for our president, our country, it's not a country. It's like a small factory. And he do whatever he want. But so it's not nice for me. And I still inside me, I couldn't believe that it's happened. And also about pandemic, our country was one of so many countries that our president said we don't have any pandemic and we didn't close the border. So our country is open, come every day and do whatever you want. You don't have any, only kids didn't go to the school. But now what will happen, I don't know, really don't know. Because I also work with kids and teenagers and it could be disaster.
Well, I want to thank you so much for obviously taking the time to do this. I know that you said if somebody watches this video, something could happen. I will go to Belarus and protect you if I have to. So don't worry about that.
You know what I want to say? You say that we are women, so we need to become together around the world. But now with this, you really do good, how to say, good job, and you communicate with the women's. In my opinion, you have to make a group with women's with every country with whom you already spoke, and we will be together and we will give and use to each other what's going on in our countries, and then we can make hot news about what's going on in our countries.
I love that idea. Actually, thank you so much for that because I might actually do that. So thank you so much. Yes, you gave me a great idea. You're amazing. Thank you.
I want to be in this group.
Yes, you will. But again, thank you so much. I implore anybody that watches this video to obviously go ahead and share as much information about what's going on in Belarus. They desperately need the help of every other country around the world. And so thank you again. I love you. And we will be in touch soon about that actual video that you told
Yes,
me about.
and also I will send you now some videos about protest and about this disaster time, and you can take something from there.
Perfect. And I'll go ahead and share anything that you send me as well, so obviously people can be informed.
Yes, but please don't be scared. There is really not
I'm not easily scared, don't worry.
good.
But thank you. Okay, Christina. Bye.